William Lipscomb Elementary School, A Brief History. William Lipscomb was born in Tennessee in 1860, a member of the Lipscomb family for whom the university is named. Like his father before him, William also became a teacher. During the 1880s, he taught students in Tennessee before marrying Virginia Collins, also a teacher, and the couple moved to Texas. Lipscomb taught at schools in Azle, Fort Worth, and Corsicana before moving back to Tennessee in 1890 to become the editor of the religious newspaper, The Gospel Advocate. For the next 3 years, Lipscomb studied to become a minister in the Disciples of Christ Church. But in 1894, J.L. Long, superintendent of Dallas schools, recruited Lipscomb to become the new principal of Dallas's only public high school, the Central High School on Bryan Street. The Lipscombs moved to Dallas and took up residence in East Dallas. William Lipscomb served as principal of the Central High School for 5 years. In May 1899, he presented a professional development essay for Dallas teachers on the subject of a teacher's influence. He advised teachers not to nag students, to avoid frequent scolding, and to show humility by apologizing when necessary. He also supported the idea of avoiding routine and to be open to new ways of teaching and learning. He said, "We need teachers whose range of sympathy is wide enough to appreciate all sorts and conditions of little men and women who come to us. These are the times when, teetering on the great divide of life, a strong and tender hand is needed to draw them safely on in the right direction." On July 12, 1899, Lipscomb and his family were attending a summer revival at the First Christian Church in Dallas, located at Pearl and Bryan Streets, near the high school. During the final hymn, a man walked down the aisle, pulled out a gun, and shot William Lipscomb in the side. Men from the church tackled the man, J.T. Carlisle, who had been a janitor at the Central High School. Lipscomb was immediately taken to St. Paul Hospital, where he remained in critical condition for 2 days before dying of peritonitis on July 14th. Carlisle was angry that he had been terminated from his job and blamed Lipscomb. In 1900, Carlisle was found guilty of second-degree murder and sentenced to 10 years in prison, where he died a few years later. Lipscomb's widow, Virginia, became a Dallas school teacher in order to support her 4 young children. She taught 2nd grade at Stephen F. Austin Elementary School from 1900 to 1904 and at David Crockett Elementary School from 1904 to 1913. In 1913, Virginia Lipscomb was promoted to principal of the new Rieger Avenue School in Munger Place. The school, composed of 6 portable buildings placed at the intersection of Rieger and Henderson, was originally planned to be the site of a new elementary school in East Dallas to relieve crowding at David Crockett. But during the next 4 years, the City of Dallas and the Board of Education chose a site in Junius Heights for the new school, a city block on Worth Street between Lowell and Ridgeway Streets. Because future city growth was headed east, it was felt by the city that the location in Junius Heights was more convenient for a majority of students than the Rieger Avenue location in Munger Place. The new school, designed by architect Herbert M. Green, who also designed many of the buildings at the University of Texas, was a 3-story red brick structure surrounded by 3 acres of recreational grounds. It was erected at a cost of $200,000, equivalent to $2.8 million today, and included 20 classrooms, a domestic science room, and a manual training room. The large auditorium seated 400, and the lunchroom accommodated 200 students at a time. The school was named for William B. Lipscomb at the request of Central High alumni, many of whom lived in the area. Mrs. Virginia Lipscomb became the first principal of the school, and she also lived on Lipscomb Avenue in Junius Heights. When the school opened on September 19, 1921, there were 150 students in grades 1 through 4. By 1926, there were 1,026 students in grades 1 through 7, including a small kindergarten class. The school boundaries in 1930 went as far north as the MKT railroad tracks, as far south as the Santa Fe railroad tracks, as far east as White Rock Lake, and as far west as Fitzhugh Avenue. The school mascot chosen was the lion, and the school colors purple and gold. Virginia Lipscomb served as principal for 15 years until her retirement in 1936. She was beloved by her students, and she helped organize the first PTA unit at Rieger Avenue School, which then became the PTA at Lipscomb School. She encouraged her students to serve those less fortunate by participating in charity projects to benefit the students at Stephen F. Austin School. Since Mrs. Lipscomb's retirement, the school has had a strong core of principals in leadership in the ensuing 80 years. The student body has had many academic achievements over the years, with a strong tradition in the arts and sciences. There have been dramatic lows as well, such as the polio outbreak in 1951 and the tragic deaths over the years of young students. But these lows did not deter the spirit of the school's faculty and students to carry on and move forward. The school has also had a tradition of dedicated teachers, many of whom have taught more than one generation of Dallas children. Lipscomb's student life and activities have enriched the curriculum and given students an opportunity for creativity and service. Lipscomb has established and nurtured many Boy Scout, Girl Scout, and Camp Fire troops over the years. Children have been given the opportunity to perform, create, and learn through the 7th grade operettas, square dance festivals, field days, science fairs, art exhibits, spelling bees, and field trips to the Symphony and Art Museum. Children have been given the opportunity to serve as safety patrols and in Junior Red Cross, and to serve others through newspaper drives, canned food drives, and the Lipscomb Gardens. Lipscomb students continue to excel academically through the International Baccalaureate and the dual language programs. The spirit and tradition of enriched learning opportunities and a dedicated teaching staff harken back to William Lipscomb's words, "Appreciate all children and draw them safely in the right direction."